Let's talk about something big. Imagine a global logistics network, the system that moves packages around. But what if it didn't just move stuff, but also created real opportunity and actually strengthened communities? Well, that's the incredibly ambitious vision of a company called Ziip, to build infrastructure with a soul. So let's dive into what that could really look like. This right here, this is the question at the very heart of the whole Ziip concept. It's asking us to think way beyond just speed and efficiency. What if the very system that moves goods through our cities and towns could also be a system for, healing some of the social and economic problems we see? It's a huge idea, and it's exactly what we're going to break down today.
Okay, so first up, we've got to understand how Zip's approach to scale is just fundamentally different. This isn't about having more trucks or building bigger warehouses. Nope. This is about completely rethinking the basic architecture of how things get from point A to point B in our society. And this slide just nails the difference. The traditional way, right, it's all about centralization and control. Think of these massive centralized warehouses and super rigid supply chains. Ziip wants to flip that completely on its head. It proposes a decentralized system built on what they call route harmony. It basically means the network is smart enough to match packages with people who are already going that way. It creates efficiency without jamming more cars on the road, and it's all for communal gain. And this right here, this is the core philosophical shift. It's not about how things move, faster drones, bigger trucks. It's all about why they move. So instead of just optimizing for profit, the whole goal becomes about embedding equity and opportunity right into the fabric of our daily lives. So what does this actually look like for, a real person? This brings us to this idea of the citizen-logistician. We're all pretty familiar with the gig economy, but this is a totally different proposal. It's a system designed to enhance people's existing lives, not just exploit their spare time for a few bucks. So meet the citizen-logisticians. And you got to pay attention to the words they use here. Purposeful movement, optional income, convenience, not desperation. See, this isn't about creating another precarious gig where you're just scrambling to make ends meet. It's about layering this flexible, empowering opportunity right on top of the journeys people are already taking every single day. Let's make this real for a second. Picture a student in Manila. She's already commuting to her classes every single day. With a system like Ziip, that trip she's already taking now has the potential to help pay for her education, just by carrying a few packages along a path she was already on. Or how about this? Think of a retiree in Mississauga. He has a daily walk. It's part of his routine. Ziip's system could match him with small local deliveries, turning that routine into a way to cover some extra expenses without really changing his lifestyle at all. It's all about synergy, right? Not sacrifice. And it's not just about earning money. It's also about enabling people. For a small business owner in Lagos, crazy high shipping costs can kill a business before it even gets off the ground. A network like Ziip could create these hyper-local trade routes, making it actually possible to grow a business by connecting with nearby communities affordably. Okay, so we've seen the human impact. Now let's zoom out to the big picture, the systemic level. We live in a pretty fragile, interconnected world. Ziip's design isn't just about being efficient when times are good. It's engineered for resilience when things inevitably go wrong. To really get what Ziip is trying to do, we have to first name the problem it's trying to solve, what it calls the fractured economy. This is basically our current reality, a super fragile system of data silos and centralized hubs that are designed to extract value. It's a system that works great when conditions are perfect, which, let's be honest, means it's brittle and can shatter under stress. So what happens when a crisis hits, let's say a major port strike? In the old system, everything just grinds to a halt, a total bottleneck. But in the Ziip model, the network adapts. Because it's decentralized, it can absorb that shock. The flow of goods doesn't just stop, it reroutes through thousands of smaller, hyperlocal connection points in the community, basically flowing around the problem like water around a rock. This quote just sums it all up perfectly. The current global infrastructure is fragile because it needs everything to go right. Ziip is robust because it's built for when things go wrong. I mean, that really gets to the core of it. It's a fundamental change in mindset. It's not about building a system that can't break. It's about building one that expects to break and already knows how to route around the problem. Now, obviously, a network like this runs on a ton of data and algorithms. And that brings us to a really crucial question. Can you actually design that code to be a form of ethical governance instead of just another tool for squeezing out more profit? And here is the critical distinction. Right now, the big tech giants use your data to predict what you'll consume. They're trying to sell you more stuff. The Ziip model proposes using data for utility, to understand what a community actually needs, to optimize routes for everyone's benefit, not just to push the next sale. This is a really powerful and honestly kind of a sobering thought. In a world where laws and politics are often playing catch up, the algorithms that run our digital lives are basically acting as a form of government. Zip's vision is basically arguing that we have a massive responsibility to build these systems with ethics baked in from the very beginning. And that's the bottom line. The goal of all this data isn't to control you or manipulate you into buying something. It's to give you options, to give you back some control over your own time and your own movement through the world. Which brings us to the ultimate vision here. If all of this actually works, what does it become? Well, it becomes way more than just a company. It's like a whole new operating system for how we interact and exchange value with each other. The result is a new kind of economic operating system, one that's built on a totally different set of principles, one that is responsive to the needs of a community but not extractive. A system that's powerful enough to work on a global scale, but not opaque. It's not some black box where nobody understands how it works. And finally, a system that proves you can be profitable without being predatory. It really makes the case that scale and soul can, and frankly, must coexist. What makes this idea so powerful is that it's both ancient and futuristic at the same time. It honors these timeless human patterns of, roots, exchange, and rhythm, but it uses modern technology to make them scalable, secure, and accountable in a way that just wasn't possible before. And so, this whole exploration of Ziip really leaves us with a challenge. It suggests that the next great innovations aren't going to be just another app. They're going to be in rebuilding our foundational systems, but this time with a conscience. And that, of course, leaves us with the ultimate question. Who's going to build it?